Are you picking your nose, George?
No, I was
What'd you do?
picking
You went
yours.
down.
I was trying to do some. Oh, there. Now I got all three of us.
What do you mean?
Like,
How was it
how,
before?
whoever was talking, the picture was switching to.
Yeah, there's an option that you can put like the grid.
No, I got it. Because it's a swipe screen. It was the third screen.
Ah, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Just Us Dads. Thank you for tuning in. First off, we just want to apologize for skipping last week. As you can understand, the circumstances made it impossible for us to all be together at my place. We did figure out a way to get you an episode, and here it is. So this is cool. At the comfort of our own home, kids are all asleep, and we're going to try not to laugh too hard. Guys, what's going on, man? I honestly, I've missed you.
Seriously. Yeah. It's been a long time.
I was telling my wife before I go, this started as a little gig, like just a fun thing, and honestly, I was thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, this has actually become like a sanctuary for me. It's like I knew that every week the guys are coming over and we're just doing shit to shit and laugh, and it's been a couple of weeks now since the last episode, and I'm like, fuck.
And I missed the last one too.
Yeah, man.
It's true. You had Peter on. Yeah, we had Peter on.
I missed that one.
It was a good one. Chris, you hadn't come on yet. George was on. He's like, "Oh, you got a shirt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man. Peter got them for us. He was at my place."
Which proves that I haven't watched it.
Yeah, exactly. Had you watched it, you would have known.
I'm upset I wasn't in it.
Nah, man, it's okay. But
yeah, you're right. It is. You see now how people need this. You need a little outlet. You need a little support group per se.
Man, it's crazy. And
express yourself. You need someone to express yourself.
The most fascinating thing for me is that the lifestyle that we have, because we're busy usually in the evenings and at nights, we're used to being at home with the kids during the day, right? And you go through social media and everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, we should be paying our teachers more. Stay-at-home parents should get paid by the government. This is awful. This is horrible. And people seem to
stay-at-home parents should be paid by the government.
I'm just saying some comments that I'm seeing going through the social media because they're having such a horrible time with the kids all day. It's like, oh, I totally understand stay-at-home parents and they should totally get paid. They're saints. How do they do that? And I'm thinking, Jesus, is that horrible? I don't know if it's us that have gotten used to it, but I don't know. I mean, you guys with your kids all day, how is that?
George, you want to go first?
No. You go first. I want to hear from you because from the three of us, I think you've spent the least time at home with your kids.
Yeah, and now I'm getting an overdose, and it's good and it's bad. It's good in the sense that it's like, oh, wow, I should be doing a lot more of this. It's good in the sense that we get all these little moments throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I don't wait for that hour or that half hour or that 2 hours right? It's in little chunks. I get my little dosages or my dosages. I get them like throughout the day, and it kind of makes me feel good. We've bonded a lot. Communication is better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I never thought kids could fight so much when they're together.
Non-stop,
man. It's just
I'm
non-stop.
losing my voice.
It's just nonstop. It's great, then it's bad, then it's great, then it's super great, then it's really bad, then it gets bad, then it gets the worse. Then nobody talks to each other for 5 minutes, then it's really, really great. And then we'll watch a movie, then we go to bed, and in the morning it's just crazy. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
The family dynamic is a weird thing, but you know what? It's what it is. Parenthood is up and down. But I'm glad I'm going through this because I'm learning and they're learning from me. And I see that, and I'm sure you guys could relate. Most people could relate to this. I'm a very patient person with work, with employees, with coworkers. Like, I'm always calm, I'm always collected, and I kind of lose my cool at home. And I'm trying to deal with that. Because yeah.
Is it because you're in a professional setting that you don't want that to come out, or is it because
I don't know what it is, man?
There's less
bottling up.
picking at your nerves.
And you come home and it's just your natural environment where you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's more that. I try to keep some kind of professionalism at work, and you know what? You kind of lead by example, and you want other people to feel the good energy and come to talk to you. And even though it's stupid not to think like that when you're at home, you should think like that at home too.
Yeah.
But I've just made the connection that how I could be two different people.
Kids test your limits.
And I'm not bipolar. I'm not bipolar at all.
No, but our kids test our limits too.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, it's like everyone does, you know?
No, but what he's saying is that, you know, employees and and the personnel, they can test your limits too. It's just that you
exactly.
You choose to keep your composure, to stay patient.
Like why am I losing my cool? Why am I losing my cool with the people I love the most? You know what I mean?
Because they drive. I don't agree with what you're saying. I mean, yes, your coworkers and employees, all that, they will test your limits, but kids have no end. The end is your breaking. Like, and you start screaming.
I agree with you too. I'm just saying what I'm sharing is that I'm conscious of it a little bit more now. I think it was an awakening point for me, and it's in my conscious mind now. And I'll just know how to be careful with it a little better. That's all it is. That's what this week did to me.
Do you think that, you know, once we're all, you know, done with this situation, you know, it's going to change a lot the relations at work, in the sense that people are going to get used to exactly what you just described, and working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week will suddenly become unacceptable because they've lived, I mean, in most cases, I would want to imagine, you know, happier times, more relaxed. Oh, look, this is my family, so much time together. You know, we should be doing this more often. I feel like people are headed towards that. You know, I drive around, we drop off my kids sometimes to my in-laws, and you know, it's the suburbs, very residential. People are out. Parents are biking with their kids now, taking a walk, playing hockey outside. And I just feel like, what's going to happen when all these people go back to work and they realize that, shit, I just spent a month, whatever time it's going to take, I don't know, you know, a month being so close to my family. I realized how valuable all this time is, and now I'm stuck here for 80 hours. Fuck this shit. Do you think that this, you know, the relationship at work might get affected by all this? Like the relationship?
No.
I think people are going to be running back to work.
Looking forward to going back.
I want to be free.
Look, first of all, I think there's two types of people that work 80 hours a week. There's the people that actually need it and they absolutely can't without it. And there's the people that actually work 80 hours a week to get everything they want to get done, right? They want to do everything they need to get done. So there's two types of people. The people that need to work 80 hours a week to make ends meet, after this, these guys are finished.
Yeah.
The people that work 80 hours a week because they need to get shit done are going to go work 120 hours just to bring it back to where they left off. So you're right. I think it puts things in perspective, and people are going to be, okay, let me just take advantage of these better situations.
I'm just saying the whole thing together, the whole quarantine at home for this many days, you can't do anything.
Yeah, but George, no, you could, man. You can go out, you can go have fun with your kids. Just don't be around other people. You know, like, I mean, there's nothing going on at your house. The idea here is not to be in contact with people that you don't know if, one, they carry the disease, or if they've come into contact with someone that may be carrying the disease. That's what you need to be careful about. So you can go out in your yard and play. You can go jump in your on your trampoline. You can, you know, you can do.
It becomes boring. I mean, there's got an expiry date, man.
Well, that's where you got to get creative, man. You got to look for activities every day. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow? You know, what's on the schedule? You know, do we do a puzzle? Do we draw? Do we do, you know, any arts and crafts? Or obviously, there's a lot of Netflix and a lot of Disney Plus, man. Let me tell you. But
do we have an adult conversation for a change?
George, I think what me and George are saying, what me and Panusi are saying, is that after this is done, people are gonna run out of their homes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
People are gonna be like, I love it. Oh my God, I'm glad I felt this.
I'm running
I
to
experienced this, but I'm going out. Yeah. I think people are gonna leave I think people are gonna disappear for 5-6 days.
Yeah. You know what? You guys are bringing up something. You guys are, because like I told you, I've been walking, and during the walks, I've been thinking a lot about what's gonna come out after all this, like all the byproducts. So you're gonna have the first 2-3 days, people are gonna go party themselves crazy. There's gonna be like a huge spike in car accidents from drunk driving and stuff like that. people doing things in excess to another level. Being hospitalized for all the wrong reasons.
That's what I think. Yeah.
The obesity.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think take time.
I predict people are going to be hosting like bunker food parties. Let's empty what we kept in the house during these months.
We got to use up the toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, nobody's gonna go to their boss and say, you know what, this was a time of reflection, and I don't feel like working for you anymore. In fact, I'm never gonna work again.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go to that extent.
No one's doing that. No one.
But to go back to what George was saying, I have this doubt that things are just gonna switch on back to normal like they used to be. Like I was talking to our friend Pantelis, who's a stand-up comedian.
Hold on, what are you talking about? What things would go back to normal?
Anything. Like imagine, this thing is over. How long will it take for you to go comfortably back to like a bar to drink, or our friend Pantelis is like, man, I don't know. It's gonna affect our industry. Like this is over. Are they going to hire me? And if they hire me, are people going to come out to watch shows? Are they going to just flip the switch again and say, okay, it's done. Let's all go out.
Yeah, they are. Of course they are.
I don't know, man. I think people are still going to be a little bit worried. They're going to keep distance. There's going to be this defensive.
I don't think so.
There is going to be
There's going to be a couple months of transition until everybody gets the shot. Whoever hasn't been affected.
There is going to be fear. You're right, George. But the innate need to actually congregate and be out and socialize is going to overrule it.
I don't doubt that. But I think it's going to change. Like, remember what happened with the H1N1 thing, right?
Yeah, swine flu.
Yeah, the swine. There was never any antiseptic thing like those Purell things. Nobody used to carry those around. You would go into supermarkets. There was none of this thing. None of these things were there. And after that, everything changed. Everything transformed. You would have, you walk into a building, you would have to put that.
I'm going to say about H1N1, my grandfather was recovering from a stroke and caught it twice.
The H1N1.
In his 80s.
No. What I'm trying to say is how things changed in the way they did things, right?
I agree. That I agree.
And just now because of the amplitude it's taken, I think it's going to be even worse.
Everything morphs society. Every event, especially events like this or situations like this, are going to shape and morph society. After 9/11, security wasn't the same. After the H1N1, life wasn't the same. After coronavirus, it's not going to be the same. Obviously, there's going to be little changes. But you know what? We're highly adaptable. Yeah. And we can just adapt to any situation. So I don't.
Another tweak.
Yeah, but look, what I'm really seeing, I'm not seeing the coronavirus as a thing. I'm seeing everything behind it. There's again, we spoke about this before, but it's all the theories. It's all the conspiracy theories. It's the cryptocurrency. Do they want to get rid of cash? Do they want to really impose a vaccine? Is the vaccine going to come with a little chip in it? Are people worried about economic crashes? Is that a new way to start making everything into a centralized government? There's a lot of this stuff as well. AI, artificial intelligence, 5G. So I think all this is almost like people are concentrating on this so much, and all the people that kind of like don't have everybody's best interest at mind are going on with their agendas.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
Wouldn't you think that you would need hundreds, if not thousands, of people to be in on this scheme? Wouldn't it have come out like warnings from everywhere? People from inside.
But it is coming out.
A person like a person like you is working there, and if it's a big scheme to get us to get.
I don't think Chris is talking about this having been a scheme from the get-go. I think what he's saying, unless I misunderstood, it happened. Now there's going to be a byproduct. Okay, now this is the situation. How do we take advantage of it to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'll give you. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
what I'm
you're
saying,
right. It
George.
presents an opportunity for people
That's
who want
right.
to switch.
So I'll give you an example. Okay, the vaccine people, the pharmaceutical companies behind that. It's like, okay, this is an opportunity now to come up and push our vaccines. The cryptocurrency people, hey, this is an opportunity to get rid of cash because
For
cash is
sure.
bad,
For sure.
right?
Trace it
So
all.
that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you 100%. There's going to be this parallel kind of
Yeah.
universe where everything
Oh,
is going to happen because of everything we're living.
And it's not.
you
It's
guys
going to
still,
change, guys. Security measures are going to be different.
Yeah.
no,
Right?
but do you guys still operate with cash?
I operate with
Sometimes.
cash. Yeah,
Sometimes.
a little bit, not as much as I used
Not a
to,
lot. Yeah.
Me,
but
it's
yeah,
close to zero. I tap everywhere I go.
Yeah.
yeah.
What kind of information are they getting? Where I'm buying gas from, or where I'm buying
No, but
groceries from?
you see, that's what it is. So
If you're not
there's
keeping secrets, there's no problem.
no, but what I'm saying, it could be. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying I'm very open to theories. I'm not really. I don't believe anything, and I do not believe anything. I'm very open
Yeah.
minded, and you know what? The second somebody comes along with a better argument, I'll have a listen. I'm not set in anything. I've made sure to make my mind open to any kind of suggestion. What
Mhm.
I'm saying is that the people that don't want the cash, they can get rid of the cash. And cash is something that you can't really control or measure. So you want to kind of get rid of it because if everything goes into cryptocurrency and it could be logged and it could be tracked, now you're controlling. With so much cash out there, you can't really control wealth. You don't know what's circulating. So I'm not saying that that's what the agenda is. I'm just saying it's possible. And the
Well,
guys,
I know.
you know what I mean?
All I'm saying is,
They're going to push a little bit more. They're going to say, hey, you know what? By the way, look, when the coronavirus happened, you were touching
don't
money, people
you
got infected.
don't you
Yeah, but
believe that's the
I think
future?
yeah.
Okay?
Look,
Inevitably, wouldn't that be the inevitable future for our monetary system?
Yeah,
it
but
already is, man.
you're right. You're right.
We're done with the cash anyway. I mean,
Actually, you know what? Let me just put it. Let me just paint
We're
a
a
broader
degree away.
picture instead of going to the detail. What I'm trying to say is that with all this stuff, and maybe it is inevitable, but I feel that because we want to provide more security, we're taking away a lot of the freedoms, and we're taking freedom like almost inch by inch, and now it's like foot by foot. So because we want to stay secured, a lot of the freedoms are gonna be taken away, and
Everything you're saying is correct, man.
that
But
for me is a problem later on. That's all I'm saying.
everything you're saying is correct. But I think we've been where you're saying long before now.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah,
I
but
mean, there's no way you can really live without being on the grid. Even if you live in a tent somewhere, you're not allowed to be there.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to live in the
yeah.
wilderness with
Well,
animals, technically.
that's what worries me more than the disease and all that.
I'm just saying that's been there since the first satellites went in the sky, man, since we've got to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
level.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
So the rest of what you're saying is the inevitable.
Yeah, and that's all I'm trying to say. It's like
Yeah.
that's the scary part for me.
Now,
You know, that's the scary part.
I always think of both sides of this argument because I was always standing on the natural one, which is, fight against it and
Hmm.
the big government, the global government, all that new world order stuff, and it's the natural thing to feel like you're part of, right? To go against that.
Hmm.
But then I'm thinking, as the world gets more and more populated, and the resources are going to have to be shared, wouldn't globalizing it to share it make more sense?
No.
Because if you leave everybody independent, there's going to be big sharks eating it.
Well, instead of having big different sharks eating, it's going to be the big guy that controls everything. It's going to be eating everything. It's the same thing. You know what? A lot of people debate the socialism.
But
Well,
wouldn't it be shared more equitably?
no, but what I'm saying is like a lot of people, like when they debate socialism versus capitalism, they always think that the capitalist is that big greedy corporation that's going to come and take everything. Well, greed exists in a very big government that can come and take everything as well. For me, greed is one of those bad things that just belongs to humans. It's in us. It's in the character. So whether, you know what, but I know that I never had Coca-Cola come into my door and say, you know what, you owe me this. Big governments do that. So I wouldn't trust a big government to implement that. I prefer the free market. You know what I mean? I prefer different people that are willing to make transactions on a voluntary basis and have somebody.
Is there a type of government that can work that way, you think?
Look, I don't know. Look, European Union. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people want to break away from this thing. A lot of people, we're starting to see that multiculturalism doesn't work. We're starting to see that people identify with different things. They want to be different, but at the same time, they want to be able to like belong to a group, but a smaller group.
Yeah.
I just find that all these things now with this information age, all this stuff is gonna hit us in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not able to sit down and debate these issues, there's going to be rebellion. There's going to be pandemonium. There's going to be people in the streets. I find that already everything is unstable in a way. So I know we kind of went left field on this, but
It doesn't matter.
What worries me more, because whether diseases always existed, viruses always existed and will always exist. And I think while we are concentrating on the diseases, the climate change and all that stuff, there's other people running certain agendas. And for me, it's like the caged bird. The caged bird is very, very secure. Another big bird or a cat won't eat it because it's in the cage, but it's lost 100% of its freedom, right? And when he's out in the wild, he has 100% of his freedom, but he has no security. And I find that we're people that want to be in the middle. And not everybody wants to be in the middle. Somebody wants to be a little bit more free. Somebody wants to be a little bit more secure. I just find that should be our decision, and it should be governed by a government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I get scared. I get scared when Trudeau says he wants to pass a bill that he can have full control on what he's going to spend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make it political, but when you start doing things like that, when you come out as a hero and you want to help people because are vulnerable, you come out as a hero, but you're not really a hero. Now what you're doing is like you're stepping in tyrannical ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Totalitarian ground.
It's all in the name of the common good, right? It's like we need to take these extraordinary measures in order to make sure that whatever measures we want to implement are going to be respected. I understand the point of view. I understand where they're coming from, because you're exposing the dangers. You have scientists saying that this is highly contagious, just stay home, and then you go out and people are just out and about. I mean, you have the seniors residences where there's all the cases here in most there's a huge it's not an epicenter, but it's a center of in I can't remember where, but the 4 deaths that we had in Quebec are in that seniors residence. And there's a pharmacy across the street, and you have residents fleeing their little room to go buy their medication or whatever into the pharmacy, and people are freaking out. They're like, "What are you doing here, man? You're coming straight out of the nest of this disease in that seniors residence. What are you doing?" So I can understand where the government's coming from, but I agree with Chris in the sense that it's a little bit scary, man.
It's a little bit scary.
And I'm glad that it didn't pass, because he wanted extraordinary leverage up until 2021. It's like,
it's crazy stuff.
Like December 2021.
Like what's next? I'm gonna vote a law that says we don't need to have elections for the next 15 years, like Castro, or like Putin is thinking right now. I don't like that. I believe democracy is not perfect, but it's something that works.
Neither do I, and which also goes to prove how the political system we have in Canada actually kind of works. I mean, they just blocked it. And in any other country, they're like, okay, what do we need to do? Pass it fast. Like, okay, we need urgent measures. Let's get them. But here, yes, they understood the necessity of getting extra funding, or bending the rules a little bit to pass billions of dollars of financial aid. They understood that, but it's like, dude, December 2021 is not happening. We'll give you until June 2020, and we'll take it from there.
And then we'll take it from there, and then we'll reassess.
I mean,
absolutely.
But that's scary. But the other thing also, and this happened here in Quebec. And by the way, I think Quebec Premier is doing a fantastic job, and I'm saying that publicly because I campaigned against him. I was against most of his platform, and even the legislation that he passes and that government passed. I'm against it in general, but the way that Legault is managing this crisis is just textbook. It's amazing.
What do you mean textbook?
It's textbook crisis management. Like it's doing exactly what has to be done. And he has a very high approval rate right now, and good for him. But the one thing that got me worried is similar to what was happening with the federal government. But in this case, he gave the police extraordinary measures. Someone alerts you that there's a gathering of over 10, 15 people, you have the right to go in.
Police state.
Yeah, I'm like, what the
You
hell?
see, this is where you have a right and left, and you're always going to have this debate with extreme measures, because, and you know what? Everybody's sitting there and criticizing every leader how they're acting, and some people are saying Trump is bad, that Trudeau did it the wrong way, Legault did it the right way or the bad way. Everybody has opinions, but there's two ultimate ways to motivate people to do something. You either give them a desire to gain, or you give them a fear. You create a fear, right?
Yeah.
Right. So those are the only two ways to motivate people. You
Fear of
fear
loss.
away or gain towards. Fear of loss. Yeah. So there's two ways of doing it. The first way is to basically think and say, you know what, I think, or I'm assuming that everybody's logical enough to be able to understand what they need to do. And then that's one way. And then the other way is saying, man, that doesn't work because not everybody's logical. Not everybody thinks the right way. So now we got to impose fear to get people to act, which proves that people need fear. And this is why it's dangerous, because a doctrine like that or a way of governing like that is what dictators do.
Yeah, but I think it's a fine line. I don't know if it's considered fear. I think it's just
It's fear. It's definitely fear.
Look, the situation is such that when you're presenting the facts, like every day there's an update, right? Like there's a press conference, Legault comes out and says, this is where we're at, this is where we were yesterday, this is what we're projecting for tomorrow, or in a week from now. The facts themselves are scary, so that instills fear. I don't think they are willingly putting fear into the people in order to tell them what to do. You understand? I think it's the situation, it's the circumstances that are such that just by and everybody, like every single day at 1 p.m. I'm in front of my TV. I want to get informed, and I know that I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that are just stuck in front of their TV screen wondering what happened today. Where were we yesterday, and where, like, how is this progressing in Quebec? We're seeing what's going on in Europe, Italy, Spain, France, obviously China. Now they kind of broke that curve there.
Yeah,
uh,
but
the
you're,
US
you're,
the US is exploding, so everyone is just so eager to see what's happening.
yeah, but George, you're operating from the you're operating from the premise, let's say, that what you're hearing is the truth. You're objectifying the truth, and the truth, yes, it's always objective, the real truth, but what people present is very subjective, and what you perceive depends on your perspective.
I'm giving
So
I'm giving the
what
specific example of Quebec, where I don't think the information is skewed, right? I mean, it's
well, you don't know that, but you don't know that.
no, but it's very factual. It's like, look, yesterday this
It's
is
not
what we were,
factual.
this is how many cases we have. This is more. This is how many more are hospitalized. We had 2 additional deaths. So it's just numbers. Now the numbers are scary. I agree, and people are
Yeah.
just so focused on what's happening, and we're just praying that, oh my God, I hope it doesn't double. I hope it doesn't triple. I hope we don't fall into the exponential
It
increase.
is exponential.
For now, I mean, yeah, maybe, but not
No, but you know
not
what?
as it was in not as it was in Italy. So I understand that maybe the numbers are scary. I just disagree. At least for now, where we're at now, I don't think that they're purposely instilling fear
I think they are.
for whatever
I
agenda.
think that's why I think it's psychology. I think media works like that. I think if you study a little bit of media, you'll find that people like bad news and scary news more than good news. That's why 90% of what is brought to you
So
is negative.
Yeah,
let me ask.
but
Let me ask
this isn't coming from
if I could interject.
yeah.
Who is the one that's organizing this, Chris?
I'm not saying somebody's organizing it. I'm just saying that media, for you to go back to watch that same channel or that same YouTube station or whatever you want to go on, you need to feel that it's exciting. And what's exciting
Yeah,
is when you feel a little fear.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
You
little
but
know what I mean?
thrilling.
yeah, but this
So
isn't
so
coming from
there's two ways to say, there's two ways to deal about it. You can say, guys, everything is going to be okay. You know what? Let's be optimistic here. We get it.
and there is that.
That
There is
that
that.
no,
I
yeah, but
find
that doesn't sell. It
yeah,
doesn't sell enough.
yeah.
Because they know
You're not
we're all
gonna
home watching TV.
you're not gonna go. You know what you're gonna say? That fucking optimist was too late, and now there's too many cases.
Yeah.
You want to go back to that negative. You want to go back to the okay, how many people? And I'm just saying that's like we're psychologically wired to think like that, and people know that. Media knows that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's somebody conspiring, concocting everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
No.
that that's what happens. And think about it, guys. Why is everybody so into COVID-19 right now? You know what? There's flus, people that have AIDS, millions of people that have hunger. Nobody wants to solve those problems. And I'm not the kind of I'm not delusional to think we can solve these problems. And not even think like that. I'm just saying that why is it so zero in on this? Why do we zero in on this when there's so many other problems? And the flu kills 600,000 people a year anyway. So we might have less casualties or more, but we don't know. All I'm saying is, like, why are we so focused on this?
20% of the people, well, the numbers they're disclosing, 20% of the cases become critical, like you're hospitalized and it's critical condition. That's 20% of the cases. So they're trying to keep the number manageable of contagion.
I don't know. Look, guys, I've worked with things and projects where you got to really, and a lot of people could testify to this. You can skew numbers. You make up numbers. You fix
no,
numbers.
I understand, but
you
I mean,
present numbers.
Can you skew like from between 5 and 20 to 20%?
No, but what I'm saying,
anything in between there is very high.
No, what I'm saying, George, what's not an impossible strategy is 1,000 people have symptoms. We don't know if it's corona, but we'll assign 800 just because we want people to move a certain way. You want to motivate people a certain way. There's no point of saying, you know what, out of the 1,000, we think it's 200. You're going to go with the 800.
Yeah, no, I know, but
the 800 is more effective.
Apparently, the numbers are coming from confirmed tested cases.
Yeah,
tested. They've been tested and they've tested positive.
But history has seen that, is what I'm saying. Like the Tito's of the world have changed history. The Castros of the world have changed things. Yeah,
the human race will move on. It's not,
think about it.
It's not the conversation. The problem is they're afraid of collapsing the medical system.
No, but you don't think in some look, there's ways to make numbers worse and there's ways to make numbers better, right? And we see this in the world today. China maybe try to hide some numbers, and maybe other countries trying to show more numbers just to scare people more. So all I'm saying is that
China
we have to be conscious that this is real. It's here.
They were trying to. I'm sure they were trying to protect their export also.
Oh yeah, you're always trying to protect an interest, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're always protecting that interest.
Doesn't mean they're not under control. But they're hiding the number just to keep the ports open or trying to.
And at some point, you don't know how badly it's going to evolve, right? Like, I'm sure those guys in China, like within the first couple of weeks, they thought, look, we're going to be able to maintain it. You know what I mean? Whoever thought that this was going to spread worldwide, you know?
Yeah.
One of the first, there was a doctor who caught it in China himself, and he died from it.
Yeah, he disappeared. He disappeared.
Yeah. You know, like
he was warning
them. Tell me, the kids, are they aware of what's happening?
We're telling them there's a virus. I told them.
No, yeah, they know
told them there's a virus, so we can't interact with other people.
Yeah,
it's important that we stay home and you keep washing your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't put your hands in your mouth. But they're kids, so we keep them home.
But you know, look, as long as you're home, man, nothing's gonna happen. You know, I mean, you don't want them to go out, come back, and have their hands in their mouths. Then I panic.
Yeah.
But as long as you're home, you know, I don't know. You know,
as long as you're not touching stuff. You're not touching doorknobs.
That's right. You just
light switches. Don't contact people. Don't touch their cars. Don't touch their house doors, the knobs.
Well, let me tell you something.
Don't let them sneeze on you.
I haven't used Lysol more in my entire life than we've had in like the last maybe 2-3 weeks.
So look, just I don't want to just to bring it, just to make my point more clear. Like now, Lysol, okay. Don't you think this company now has a certain way of presenting their information just to market their product a little bit better, a little more efficiently, a little more effectively?
Nobody disagrees, man. Nobody disagrees. I think
what I'm saying, in a self-interest world like this, you have too many self-interest things that are happening. And don't be surprised if this is another way to push another vaccine. And you know what? Companies want to sell vaccines because that's how they make their money. People make money selling vaccines. That's just the way it is.
I think that in the world that we live in, anyone that can take advantage of the situation
will.
and it's funny because the other day I was watching a commercial. It was a Videotron commercial, and this is not to promote Videotron or anything like that, but it was such a well done commercial. Like the commercial basically has different clips of random people like us, for example, now Skyping or Zooming or whatever it is, and just different clips of people saying hi, happy, blah, blah, blah.
If you're a customer of Zoom, you have to cut this section, edit the Skype out, and say Zoom.
Whatever. Yeah. But no, but they have different clips like this.
Yeah.
At the end, they're like, Videotron, we're here for you. You know what I mean? Because of the internet, and because of the opportunity. And it's just a very well made commercial, right? Look, they took advantage of it,
And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that
I saw just before we went on, I was going through Twitter and I saw Bauer, Bauer, the equipment company. They make the hockey equipment, the helmets and the skates and everything.
Yeah, they're making a face mask.
They're making the face masks for the doctors, the plastic thing that they wear. Are they generously donating them? Are they selling them? I don't know, but they're taking advantage. I mean, look, but at the same time, they wouldn't have another choice. I mean, if you were in charge of Bauer, you'd probably be thinking, how can I help the situation? I have the means, I have the tools. Can I do something, right? Plus, the government is calling on all the businesses that can actually give a hand to give a hand. So, hopefully they're donating them. I hope they're donating them.
Yeah. Well, advertising, donating and advertising is very closely related.
Yeah, like they donate them, but they make sure to advertise.
Yeah, it's like free samples.
Somebody
donating equals free samples.
Somebody on Instagram put something really funny. Like it was bashing all those influencers, right? Who they're doing everything, but somehow someone is there to film it, right? And there was a post, and he's like, "Oh God damn it! I went and got some groceries for my grandmother, and I brought them to her, but I forgot to fucking film it. So what's the point? Why did I?"
Well, you see, you're coming to my point, man.
All these influencers are like, "Oh."
I don't want to keep coming back to that, but what I was trying to say earlier is that all this interference you're hearing is all this little self-interest of everyone going after their self-interest, and that is bigger than the coronavirus. The politician is thinking, what are my next elections going to look like? The pharmaceutical company is thinking, oh my God, how fast can I get this vaccine to market? The crypto guy is thinking, okay, this is an opportunity now to get rid of cash and have people invest in this. The stock market is saying, I want people to buy. It's low, buy low, buy low. The person selling gold is saying, forget cash is out, buy gold, you got to leverage. So what I'm saying is that because of the information age, because everybody's logged in constantly 24/7, and there's so many pundits, too many experts giving their advice, what you get is the interference, and the coronavirus is not as big as it is. That's all I'm saying. Because there's Spanish flus, there's H1N1, there's AIDS, there's Ebola, there's malaria, there's all sorts of stuff that always happened.
Yeah.
It was never intensified and magnified as it was today. I mean the situation was magnified.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And you know what? You could
the problems you're discussing. Look, the ones you're mentioning have more under control than this one. That's the difference.
No, I think they
No, George, people used to die from fever, man.
No, I understand.
Millions of people die from fever.
No, I know.
And so flu is 500,000 people dying from fever.
Oh, it's the pneumonia. It's the pneumonia, man.
Yeah, but that's what it is, guys.
But you're treating all of them. They don't all make it. Your system won't support it all. That's what I'm trying to get at. 20, a big number are critical, and they're filling up the hospital.
Yeah. I'm just saying
okay, this is normal. So you use your common sense not to be taken by people. Like you do
all
now.
I know.
I watch TV. I PVR everything. You know why?
All I know. Yeah, of course.
Everything I watch, I just skip.
And I'm saying that, you know how you had agriculture age, well, the Stone Age, agriculture age, you had the industrial age, and these ages lasted a really long time, right? Years, hundreds of years. The information age is going to last 20, 30 years, and this is going to give way to AI. And all this is almost like a premise to push AI quicker. How can we have better results? How can we
you're afraid of AI?
I'm not afraid of AI. I'm just saying that this is where it's going to come in.
No, but AI is
This,
inevitable.
this is where
AI is inevitable.
this is where infotech meets biotech. And if somebody's thinking now, okay, for the next coronavirus, if I have something or a robot or some kind of technology that can measure things from afar, or with a scan, I have all the results, right? Now I have a big advancement in technology. And I'm just saying that the information age, which we're in right now, is making information less and less valuable because there's so much of it. And it's a stepping stone to AI.
Yeah, we need machines to manage it for
And
us.
I think people are gonna, and so that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, whatever. Look, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I believe we've been cyborgs from the first time we had a spear in our hand and we started customizing it and putting colors on it and scratching little markings on it. It became part of us. We became a cyborg at that moment, I think. And our cyborg, our mechanical half, just keeps evolving into this robot.
Yeah, and now it's going to be, guys, look, we saw a couple of, this is a crisis, and you know what? We saw what the human error is able to do, capable of doing. It's not able to really manage situations properly. You know what? Let's write a little algorithm for this. We need an algorithm for that. You know what I mean? You see where I'm going with this?
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
And you know what? Yeah, it is going to come with some good. It is going to come with some bad.
When the planet can no longer support us, the robots and all the information about us is going to be our lasting legacy.
Mm-hmm. Think we're gonna go to Mars?
That was deep. That was deep, John.
That's what it is. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Wow.
Where we end, they move. They carry it on.
Guys, it's a fast-paced world, fast-paced information, and you know what? I'm always going back to this because, you know what? Technology makes information fast, communication fast, but what we're forgetting is that misinformation can move as fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have a lot of people informed, you can have a lot of people misinformed. So you're trying to think what's worse, me being informed, me being misinformed, or me being uninformed. And you don't know what's worse. I think being misinformed is worse than being uninformed.
Wait until the other 2/3 of the globe go online.
Yeah, 5G. That's another scary one. 5G is scary, guys. That's scary technology.
Yeah.
It's scary technology. Like, we don't have to talk about technology all day, but it's scary. If you start listening to the people that talk about 5G and its capabilities and its efficiency and effectiveness and what it was used in the military for and what they're planning on doing with it, this is scary stuff. Because I'm an optimist. I believe things could be better. I believe that people can grow and they could personally grow and become good, but people are half good and half bad. But we're ultimately bad. Like, you got to teach your kid to say sorry, not to hit, because the bad is inside. I don't believe kids are innocent. I believe they're bad. They just need to be molded into good. And then you just suppress the bad all your life. So because the bad exists, you have to be careful. You know what I mean? You have to be careful with the new technology and giving power to too many people or giving power to a few. AI, all that stuff. You got to be careful who. And you know what? You're thinking, Chris, you're crazy. You watch too many movies. No, I don't watch movies. It's just that I think
I know what your problem is, Chris. You're just not. You don't want to live the switch.
No, no. Of course I will.
I'm actually excited, man.
I'm just seeing it. Yeah. I'm just able to analyze it.
Yeah.
I just analyze it and it excites me. But I can see the good and I can see the bad. So
they both will always exist.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when the good comes, great. When the bad comes, nothing will surprise me.
Good tends to conquer, man.
I just find a lot of people think of the good, and when the bad comes, are going to get really, 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 really disappointed.
Just change the topic quick. How's Montreal now? Because I don't come in there, but Park X especially, are people still out? Are they ignoring?
Yeah. I take a little walk here and there. You got to go buy some
faces.
stuff.
The kids don't go out to play, I assume.
In the back.
In your courtyard, not in the lane.
Well, yeah, in the courtyard lane. Yeah.
You let them play with other kids?
No.
Okay.
Distancing, my friend.
Yeah.
But 3 meters.
But we've been taking them for walks until the snow melted, and now we've been letting them play in the yard.
Yeah.
Wait. In the lane, there's other kids playing with your kids. You're just telling them stay far.
Yeah. Don't go near.
Yeah, see, I'm the complete opposite. We bring the girls out as soon as I see someone coming. Okay, everybody back in the house.
That's why. That's why we spoke about fear for the past 30 minutes.
Listen, man. For me, it's not about fear. It's just better be safe than fucking sorry. And I'm lucky because there's a giant ass park next to our house, so they can run and play, and we go out every day. But the minute I look out the window and I see a couple people walking or jogging, I'm like, yeah, let's just wait a little bit. You know?
No, you can't. You can't. I don't think you're at risk because of that.
I don't know.
It's okay to walk by somebody.
No, of course it is for me that I understand. But my daughter that doesn't.
What's she gonna do that differently than you?
I don't know, man.
She's gonna lick her fingers.
She's gonna go hold a stranger's hand.
You see, look what I'm doing. I'm putting Purell. I didn't go anywhere, but I'm still sanitizing.
It's because it's next to you, and you want that pleasure of putting it on your hands.
I hate it.
It feels good, dude. We have Purell bottles when you come in the house from the garage. We have the Lysol wipes on the kitchen counter. It's insane. We have a bottle of Purell in the car.
My fingers are cracking from washing.
My hands have never been this dry ever in my entire life. Ever. Like I wear gloves when I go out. We wear gloves because of the work we do. But the other day I went to put gas and I put gloves on. And some guy was laughing at me in his car. I saw him. He was laughing at me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Man. Laugh all you want.
I put gloves on.
Think about touch that
Guys,
shit.
it's very simple, man. We need to stay home 14 days. It's that simple. You stay home 20 days, and it won't kill you. 28 days. You're gonna develop new habits. You're gonna get rid of some bad ones. You're gonna maybe create some more bad ones. Maybe implement some good ones. It doesn't matter. We could. I don't understand the people that, like, whatever I said before is just me thinking. What I need to act, I know how to act. Right? I know how to act. You live in a society, you got to act. Whatever you think, you got to act a certain way because other people depend on that. It's just people don't want to do that. People don't want to do what they need to do. They don't have being told. They don't have the patience. They don't want to be told.
But you're also used to your routine, man. Like, how long have you guys been off now?
It's gonna be 2 weeks.
2 weeks? You haven't gone to work? 2 weeks from at home? But you don't work at all, George, you said, right? You're just off. They're paying you to do nothing. But Chris, you're home for how long?
I'm using some online training materials, but more than reading, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. But you're home. Chris, how long have you been home?
I've been home 2 weeks. I went a couple of days in the office, but I'm full. I'm full. I teach full, like nothing stopped there because we do it online. I work full. We've had the best month with EH Price. I've sold the biggest project I've ever sold.
Yeah,
it's a really good week for me and a really great month for me.
Yeah.
So I haven't really tasted you know what I mean? I just don't go out.
So
but everything else is the same.
So the schools, your students, they keep going. They keep at it. Like, I mean, nothing's closed down.
Yeah, 5 to 10. I sit there. I open my Zoom and I just teach.
5 to 10 in the evening, you mean?
Yeah, evening. And during the day, I work at Price. But
technically, I'm on call.
Nothing has changed for me. Nothing has, and you know what? I'm telling you, it's some of the industries are going to take a hit. Some of the industries are going to take a hit, but then bounce back stronger. Some of the industries are going to be killed. Some things are like, you know,
our economy is going to take a bang.
Yeah, it's going to take a hit.
It already has.
And the small and medium size is gonna be affected the most. Yeah. But again, guys, like, look. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you know, I'm buying a lot of stocks.
What are you buying?
Anything. Look, I took a big hit, but anything that dropped in my portfolio, I buy. Whatever dropped 20-25%, I buy. I buy more of it.
I don't invest, so I don't know. Can't relate.
So
that's what I was talking to somebody, and he was telling me the wrong thing to do is sell.
You can't dump. Yeah.
The thing that he suggests to do is dump a little more.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And if it falls again in the market, dump again.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get a big number of shares, and then when the whole thing turns around in a year, maybe less, maybe more.
It's definitely a wealth transfer opportunity.
Is the stock market still functioning? Did they close that down, or I heard something that they were considering?
No, it's everything's slower.
They do it online from home. Probably
from home. It's online.
Yeah, George, your kids. Is there any plan on for elementary school? I don't think so. Is there any plan on having them do homework or anything like that, preparing the
They
kids?
sent us some good practice materials, some links to go online.
But what's going to happen now until, because now from what I hear, they're closing, some schools already announced that they're closing until next semester. So what happens to the kids? They're all passing automatically? Or they're just going to consider everything up to now?
Yeah.
I got my kids in elementary, so I'm assuming they're gonna bump the elementary kids for sure.
Nobody's failing.
Oh, yeah.
Even the ones who would be finishing high school, they're not gonna.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you can't keep them back for sure. But I was just thinking maybe perhaps they were just going to consider the grades that they have this far and just finish the year with that. So like if you were failing in April, chances are you'd probably fail by June.
I heard another possibility of opening them up in May, June, or July, or whatever. And
I really doubt it. For what? Look, we're confined here. They said everything closes until April 13. I can pretty much bet that it's going to go until the end of April, beginning of May. April 13 was just, to let everybody know, look, we'll take 3 weeks, but I have a feeling it's going to go past that. I think it's going to go until May. So
they're planning incrementally.
So what are you going to open the school for in May for? I mean, when you're closing in a month,
No, they finish later.
Well, they even spoke about a possibility of trying to get people to go in July.
Start and finish later.
That's not going to happen. No, I don't know.
Like you would say,
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows yet. It's all
Nothing's
different
decided.
scenarios. Yeah, nothing's decided. Different scenarios. My wife she teaches elementary. She's here. She does the same thing. Pluriportaire, I think it's called like what do they call it? These like omnivox, right? They're like I can't find the word. The word just escaped my mind.
Is what with the kids?
It's like portals. It's like portals where people go and then you have all the students and then you could present things. You could email each other.
So they do that.
They do that. Yeah, little sessions, little 15, 20-minute sessions.
Yeah,
she's offering it to.
Well, yeah, because you got to see what your kids are doing, what your students are doing. You got to keep them engaged.
I wouldn't care.
My son fixes on vacation.
Yeah, mine too.
He wakes up, goes straight to the video games, sleeps late.
Summer vacation.
Summer vacation. It's a vacation for him.
It's a lot.
So we had to implement a rule. We had to implement a schedule. It's like pretend it's school. Pretend you're in school. So now your mom. Now, mama's not mama. Mama's the teacher now.
So what happens? He wakes up in the morning and you're giving him homework. He's doing work like schoolwork, or
yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's so funny,
man. Yeah. It's an opportunity to get ahead, George.
We give him some, but not much.
Yeah, I know. Look, there's still play. Like he works out, he does his little soccer drills. He does what he's got to do, but it can't just be video games all day and sitting there and doing nothing, doing puzzles all day.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
My house.
You know what? Everyone hates routine, but we're very routine-based creatures, man. You need the routine. Once you break off the routine, you get so bored, then you're looking for a routine again.
But it's just so unnatural. It's just so unnatural, man. Because for them, home is not school, right? It's like when I go home, I forget about everything school, and it's time for me to unwind my video games, my whatever, my toys, the backyard, whatever. And now you're home all day.
Yeah.
How easy is it to actually implement the schedule?
Well, the common saying is it takes 3 days to learn a new habit, right?
In 3 days? Or 3 weeks?
3 weeks to break it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, look, man, it's like...
takes 3 weeks to quit smoking, right?
Yeah. Look, it's... I know it's not...
You gotta, as a parent, you gotta have some discipline yourself, because you have to create some structure. It's hard to have that kind of structure when you're at home.
You need the structure.
But it's necessary.
We've been through this. The structure is necessary.
I agree with you. We've been trying to, when they're not allowed to watch TV till after lunch.
I honestly, part of me is grateful that my kids aren't in real school yet, because I don't know.
Not losing anything.
No, what I'm saying
they're
is
not losing any time. My son's losing half of his first grade.
Not so much for that, more for the know-how. Like, okay, what do we do now, right? Do I give her homework? Do I not? Like, I mean, she's in daycare, so she wakes up in the morning and she just plays. Like, we draw.
Nah, they do activities together. They learn in daycare too.
No, I know, but that's what we do in the
That's
house.
it.
I mean,
Do
it's
stuff
not.
like that.
No, but
Do
what I'm
stuff
saying that
together.
it's not that much different. Like, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna make a puzzle, you're gonna draw, we're gonna do some arts and crafts. Let's go walk, play in the park, run a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, you
they
know,
do.
for
Do the numbers and the letters.
the 300th time, we'll watch what's her face, Elsa. What's her face?
No,
Frozen.
Wendy.
Frozen 2.
Oh, I don't know. We
Yeah.
watch Wendy,
What's Wendy?
some Filipino girl from Florida.
What are you talking about?
Is that what Jerry watches too?
No, that's what Maria watches.
My goodness, I was concerned there for a second.
Gerasimo watches YouTubers. He has his YouTubers.
What does he watch on
Fortnite.
YouTube? Like the games there, the gamers.
I don't know what it is, but whatever
It's
it is.
guys like us, but talking about things that he likes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just annoying.
YouTube is big, guys. The other day, for I don't know how, by some miracle, the girls were in bed by like 8:15. Like, that never happens. And I thought that now that there's no school, forget it. Like, we're gonna go past midnight. So anyway, it was 8:15. They were both sleeping. I'm like, perfect. Let's watch some Netflix. I was hooked on my phone on YouTube for like 5 hours. I went to bed. It was 3 in the morning, and I hadn't watched anything. Zero Netflix. So yeah, me too. I get it, man. I'm hooked on YouTube. Just anything. I watch a bunch of things. I don't know, a lot of tech stuff.
I don't watch any.
Oh, I follow. You know what? I've gotten into the habit of. I was never a TV guy. I used to be a movie buff, but then I stopped that.
Yeah.
So now I think I do what George does a little bit. I have the people I follow, like the guys that I like, and I just want to know on every topic what they have to say.
Yeah.
And I'll just go listen to what he says. So I'll do a little bit of a binge. Okay, let's say I'm interested in a topic.
Oh, it's more than a binge, man. Like, I have the people that I subscribe to. So when you go on YouTube, you have your list, and it's like,
I don't subscribe to anybody.
I know I do. I have
I just find
10 or 15. But the thing is, because I'm on my phone, so when you go on YouTube, there's like a little dot there that tells you that, oh, there's like a new upload. So you take them one by one, and it's like,
okay, yeah, no, I don't do that because then I depend on that.
Yeah,
I want to be able to break free. I want to break free.
No, but what I was saying is that, see, for us now, it's just fun. It's great because I can imagine that whatever we're doing now, I should probably be doing at daycare anyway, playing and drawing and whatever. But if my kids were like in elementary school or let alone high school, I'd be freaking out now. I'd be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what's happening? I don't know what to do, And obviously they're at an older age. I don't know if you can control them like I can control them now. Like Gerasimo, for example, how do you discipline the guy, man? He's like, what, 10 now?
Disciplining is not something you do. It's something you keep on doing because you're not going to get a result till he's 30. So you just keep doing it. And then hopefully one day he'll be like, that's what he meant. No, but that's what my old man meant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying now, more with the scheduling. Let's say, for example.
Well, the scheduling is simple, George. It's like this time to this time, try and do this. Go, first of all, come here, make your bed. Great. Make some bread. He makes his own breakfast, right? Or he makes breakfast for his sister. So make the breakfast. After you're done, let's read a little bit. Now you can go play a bit. Go play. Go talk with your friends.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now we're going to do some Greek. Once you're done with the Greek, okay, you can go play. Now it's time to eat. Okay, now forget it. Now we're going to do whatever you want. Fight with your sister. So it's not really like stringent schedule and like
you're just trying to delay the leisure.
You're just trying to like say, hey, buddy, these things are important throughout your day.
You're guiding them. You're going, okay, let's do.
Yeah.
How about we do this now?
Yeah, like work first, play later. Don't try and get 80% of the play and trying to do 20% of your work. Trying to hit a good 40% of the work and then enjoy the 60 after.
Yeah.
Chris, what about your parents? You guys go downstairs. Do they stay home or they don't care? They go out?
No, my mother stays home and cooks 17 meals a day. My dad.
And the frozen.
Eh?
Frozen meals, backup system.
Yeah, they have 3 fridges, man.
Dude, these people have backups for like 5 years.
Yeah, they're good for a year and a half. A year and a half, if let's say they never leave the house.
So your dad's the one who stole all the toilet paper.
No. His dad is the one laughing at everyone that you should be laughing at him carrying all the meats. I'll go freeze them. What are you freezing them for? He's laughing now. That's what his dad is.
But they're staying home. They're careful. I go see them sometimes. They haven't left the house. When I leave with my dad. We put on our gloves. We're equipped with our Purell and everything, so we make sure we don't touch anything. We're being very, very careful. Nobody's coming over. I don't go anywhere else.
No. Exactly.
But
Just the people that like the only people we see are my in-laws because we have to drop off the grills in the evening, but they stay home all day. So,
yeah, but if you get contaminated, you're gonna contaminate them.
Yeah, I don't think so, man, because
you're not supposed to. It's not recommended.
Look, we're always alone because the nature of the work we do, we usually go in when everyone else is gone, right? So it's not like we come in contact with anyone.
You come in contact with their stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of uncertainty, huh?
There is a lot of uncertainty.
A lot of uncertainty, boys.
Either you all live all six together, or
no. That's not gonna happen. My parents. my parents.
No, I'm just trying to scare you. Just take the proper precautions before picking up the girls after your work.
No, exactly. No,
if you could do something like go to your house, drop all your clothes in your garage, put on fresh clothes, Purell the car a little, and then go.
We don't do that, and I think we should. We're actually talking
about. That's what you have to do. Take off the clothes, change, Purell the car, and then go get them.
Yeah. But my parents took off from day one. They're like, yeah, see ya. They went up north, and my sister went with her. The problem with my sister now is that my brother-in-law works at the hospital.
Oh boy!
Oh wow!
Yeah,
is he at home alone?
Yeah, well now, my sister told him because he's in the kitchen, so
doesn't matter.
No, what happened was that the unit because the Jewish is the main hospital where they transfer all the cases, but they were in a separate unit. So every meal that they would prepare for that unit, everything was disposable. So nothing was coming back to the kitchen. But now it's been a couple of days. I think even last week they started using another unit like the ICU or I can't remember what, and they didn't know, and nobody told them. So the meals that the meals that were prepared for that unit, they were using normal plates. And then they found out, so everybody's in a panic mode. My sister told them, "You're staying in Montreal. You're not coming back. You're not coming up. Like stay in Montreal." So it's panic, man. It's panic mode over there.
Well, it's not panic. It's just precaution.
Yeah, but when you know that even in the hospital, there's this lack of communication. You're like, dude, the other guy is trying.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem you're describing is it took a very small glitch to create it. It wasn't a huge lapse.
It's not.
A small one.
It's just a lack of communication that puts people's lives at risk.
That's why he should stay in Montreal.
He is. So now he's not going anywhere. Yeah.
I had a cousin who worked also in the Jewish, and when he had his son, he would go in from the garage. Even before this scare, I'm talking about years ago.
Yeah.
He would take off all his stuff in the garage or like a mud room by the house.
Yeah.
Put on fresh clothes, Purell, and then go in the house.
That's what we do now, man. We come in the house. We come in from the garage, and the laundry thing is right there on the side. So I get undressed. Everything goes in the washing machine, and I straight up take a shower. It's crazy, man. It's crazy when you think of all these things. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. Just the way we do things, I think, is going to change. Like you think when this is over, I'm going to keep my clothes when I come back from work. No, never. Never. It's just things have changed now forever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think I'm going to be doing stuff like that forever. I'm not going to be Purelling myself constantly all the time. There's no way.
There's a lot of people that would Purell themselves.
I'm doing it now to prevent the spread. I'm not afraid of catching it.
No, what I'm saying is that before COVID-19, there's people that use Purell 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, I'm never going to become that.
I had Purell. When we were campaigning, I had a huge one in the car because, man, you're coming in.
Good reason, though. There's a good reason.
Of course. But even without the campaign, I mean, it was the kind of work that brought you in front of so many different people every single day. There was always a Purell thing nearby.
I'll be back.
You go to the bathroom, you can't hear us. Yeah, you're always gonna go get coffee. What room is he in?
His office.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it. It's the other balcony.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, there's going to be a larger number of people that are going to do exactly what you said. Just continue these practices moving forward, just to be preventive. But I don't see the point without having one of these high risk situations. Once they get the vaccine going,
yeah.
I don't see the reason. We're all going to catch this thing eventually. We're all going to have some kind of natural immunity to it. They're going to have a vaccine every year for the people who should get it and stuff like that.
Do you do the flu vaccine every year?
No.
No, neither do I. I don't think I've ever done it.
If I was around the elderly, I would, but to prevent spreading it to them.
Yeah.
No.
So you now, I mean, you told me that work keeps going. I mean, it's still happening. It's just that you're not working.
Technically, I'm on call.
Yeah.
But they changed the way they're operating. So we went from being 2 people minimum to just 1 person to prevent the spread from one to the other. I'm assuming when they're there, they're Purelling everything, they're disinfecting everything.
Yeah.
The amount of work on site has been modified just to accommodate the fact that it's 1 person, and the analyses are being done back at the shop.
Is there the same volume though of work? Is there the same amount of work, or?
Yeah, from what I understand, the actual work has not stopped. So just the practices have changed.
Yeah.
It's temporary solution.
Yeah, everything hopefully is temporary. Like some of our clients had to close down. Like we're considered an essential service, so we can keep going. I mean, no, we don't. If we choose to keep going, like there's no repercussion or anything. But a couple of our clients had to shut down. But some are still working because they're also considered as an essential service. So that thankfully has it's going to keep some revenue coming in. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing we haven't spoken about. The economy is going to take a hit here, but
yeah. So if you guys are still working, are you considered essential service? I mean, you're working with people that can remain open, or eventually you're going to have to shut down.
Well, we don't know yet, but we're in between. Look,
if you can operate from home, there's no reason to close.
Well, what I'm saying is that
No,
we're
but what
not
I'm
really.
saying is that even if you can operate from home, if your clientele is shutting down.
Look, we're considered ventilation. So we're in the HVAC industry. We're in the construction industry.
Yeah, but if the construction site's closed tomorrow.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that even if that aspect goes away, right, we could still design. We could still we could help engineers in the designing process.
Project planners can create budgets for future projects.
We could come up with budgets. We could sit down and meet with clients and see what they want to do and what. So we're not essential services, but you know what? It's ventilation. It's like it doesn't stop. Whether you're dealing with consultants and engineers, or you're dealing with contractors, or dealing with clients directly, there's always something happening. So for now, we're okay.
Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah. Now I was telling George that a lot of our clients had to close down because they're not considered essential. So we took a little bit of a hit, but at least the bigger ones stayed. So I mean, we're not. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, look, everybody's gonna take a hit. It's just how much can you take? Yeah. And you know what? This is going back to all these financial gurus that I've been saying for years. The problem is not the economy crashing. We know that the economies crash every, I don't know, whatever the cycle is. It's just that when people tell you, you know what, start saving, put some money on the side.
Yeah, get ready.
You know what, you're doing this in case. It's like an insurance. You don't buy insurance because you need insurance. You buy insurance because in case you need insurance. That's why you buy insurance.
Yeah.
So you save, you put things on the side, whatever. It's a year's salary, 2 years salary, whatever it is. I don't know what it is for everybody is different, but too many people living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
it's for situations like this where you got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm against spending, whether it's in your household or the government. You know, when you spend irresponsibly, you're gonna have to pay for it if something like this happens.
Yeah, but it's difficult sometimes to even imagine what could happen. Like for example, our tenant at the condo, you know, we don't know if he's going to be able to pay his rent or not, right? So we're on standby with that, right? So
Yeah,
do you have the means to cover your mortgage plus second mortgage? Like there's a lot of things going on right now, right?
yeah, of course, and that's what it is, and that's why everybody's afraid of the economy, and it's a lot of people when they say is this handled properly or mishandled is it means have you thought of the right proportion health versus the economy, and it's
Yeah.
like okay, you're going to save some lives, but are you going to really destroy the economy long term?
Yeah.
And hurting the economy long term means other people are going to be in the streets as well.
But thankfully, though, the government was very quick on measures to support, like family, like the mortgage deferrals and removing all delays for unemployment. Like there's a bunch of stuff that happened very very quickly. It's difficult for me to think that all this just happened in 1 or 2 weeks. I have a feeling that ever since this thing broke out in China, they were already thinking of plans over here.
Yeah, but this is the money's there. The problem is not now. The problem is going to be in a year from now when you're going to have to pay two or three times the taxes because the government doesn't have money. The government to give you money means it took it from somewhere,
Oh yeah,
right? So where's it going to take it from? It can't invent it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
The
yeah,
World
it's
Bank.
now, but it's going to take it. It's going to take it from the back end. It's giving it now, but then it's going to have to take it somewhere else.
Look, this is everything you're saying. We're still in the best place you can be during this crisis.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not saying you're complaining.
I'm not
I'm
complaining.
just saying,
Yeah,
even with these issues, this is the best place to be right
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
now.
I
There's going to
agree.
be places that are going to be really suffering.
I agree.
Oh no,
But
Really
don't
suffering.
don't think it's impossible to see. I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands. Like, I'm not sure, and like I don't know enough. But don't be surprised if thousands of people go into bankruptcies and lose their homes. And
I'm just going to say
don't be surprised.
California was on lockdown. I think that's 40 million people.
Wow,
In
dude,
a,
New York.
in a,
New York lockdown. Like, can you imagine that?
it,
Like the city of New York.
from what I was reading, the financial situation in California is worse for people.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be a lot of like possibility of a lot of people going homeless here
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because there's nothing in set to protect people from being evicted and all these kind of problems.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And a lot of people don't even have like somewhere to pull that money from. It's going to be very tricky.
Yep, that's why this is an opportunity. Well, this is what I'm teaching my kid. That's what I'm teaching my kid right now. It's like, you know what? You got $20. You can't spend 20. You could only spend 4.
Mm.
The 16, it's like it never happened. It never came to you. This $20 bill doesn't represent $20. It represents 4. That's what you can spend.
How is he doing with that? Is he?
Well, it's a little strange for him, and it's a little like he kind of gets it, it kind of doesn't. But
Well, because he relies on you for security.
well, yeah, but at the same time, it's like you
No, I'm saying like to understand the concept of okay, out of this 20, let's save half.
yeah, we have jars. We have jars. I have 6 jars.
Yeah,
He has jars. Gerasim has
6
jars.
jars.
yeah, that's
And
fine.
then when he has a 50, we'll break down that 50 down into the different percentages that go in the jars.
Oh, nice.
So that later on is going to be like, okay, this is where my
It's a
money goes.
reflex.
Is
You're
yeah,
developing a reflex.
you're building a habit. You said 3 days,
Yeah,
George. Yeah, we've been building these habits for a long time, and
but
it's
it
for
comes
it's
natural to him now when he gets like that $50, $20 bill. Like, does he think, okay, let me go buy a video game, or does he first think, okay, how do I divide this the way my dad taught me?
no. He comes to me and says, "This is what I have." So we go over the principles,
Yeah.
right? The concepts, and then he'll be like, "Okay, that's what I need to do." So I'll go put it there.
What are the 6 jars?
The 6 jars are there's a savings jar, there's a long-term investment jar or financial freedom jar,
Yeah.
there's an education jar, there's a play jar, there's a giving jar. So let's say out of the $100, you could put $5 in your giving. When you need to help somebody or you got to give to some kind of organization, you take it from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's I run like that too. my accounts are set up that way too.
Yeah, that's funny. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, look, my dad was very, very frugal. My dad was the kind of guy who, like, every dollar he made, he saved $1.25. Yeah.
He collected cans on the side.
Well, he just knew how to make $1 into $1.25 without investing it. And he lived hard times. And you know what? It's like, you never know when things are gonna happen. You just gotta be ready for them.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a perfect example, man. I think this is going to be a big eye opener for a lot of people.
This is a learning experience for a lot of people.
So what's the plan for you guys?
Because you know what, we are in a debt-based economy, and we're Trudeau's a Keynesian economist kind of guy, right? So he believes in a lot of consumption, right? Consumption, debt, consumption, debt. And you know what? He did that at the worst time possible. Because if he didn't think like that and thought savings economy, some consumption, savings economy, people wouldn't be in this mess, or he would be able to help a lot more. Yeah. Now he is going to help, but he's just going to put a bigger debt.
Yeah. Well, so the opposite happened in Quebec, where from when was it? From 2014 to 18, it was strict measures, save.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
now you can weather the storm. The three little piggies, guys.
We're at a situation now where you have $3-4 billion of surplus, and it's giving so much leeway to the government to take just the right measures in this situation.
But George, that principle applies in your home.
Yeah.
It's what comes in, what comes out. Make sure what comes out is less than what comes in, and what comes out is less than what comes in.
Yeah,
simple.
Exactly.
Simple. Yeah. If you could balance that equation, because it doesn't balance itself. That equation does not, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. That equation will never balance itself. Well,
Yeah.
So what's the plan now since you're home? I mean, are you guys making a schedule? I mean, well, you still have work, Chris. I mean, you're pretty much all hands on deck. It's just that you're doing it out of the house.
Yeah.
But are you guys thinking, okay, well, let's just change it up now? What's coming? Like how do you how do your days go by now?
Well, I'm working. You know what?
You're working. Yeah.
I'm working, but at the same time, I'm thinking ahead. And you know what? I'm thinking, what is the next industry? Where can I invest in? What can I go get in real estate? What's going to happen? What's going to go low? Where can I go? I'm thinking that way. So I am working. I'm very grateful that I'm one of those that still has his job.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for my 6 little jars.
It's funny. It's funny because I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like exactly what you were saying before. I was like vacation mode. It's like, okay, so the girls don't have school. Okay, what do we do? Let's just have fun during the day,
Yeah. But well, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of vacation.
Yeah. George, your kids are driving you crazy.
Forget it. Crazy was 9 days ago.
Are they tied up?
No, I haven't tied them yet. I have to say, since I set up the trampoline yesterday, decompression.
Good,
yeah,
good.
man, for sure.
Because I don't know how long it's going to last, maybe one more day. The bike is, so I haven't given the bike yet. Increments, everything in increments. Because I'm going to run out of options.
Yeah, no, but
so I'm going to give them the scooter tomorrow. I'm going to give them the scooter tomorrow. They want me to push with one foot.
See, that's a guy with a plan.
No, but thankfully,
maybe let me last a few days,
No, but thankfully the weather's getting better, man. Can you imagine something like you guys remember?
The first few days, the weather was terrible. There was nothing to do.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. It was minus 20 or something at some point.
Guys, that's better, man. Can you picture another 2 months of this staying at home quarantined with 30 degrees and a big bright sun outside? That's
you can play outside.
Well, yeah.
You could play outside. We go for walks.
Yeah.
We go for walks. I'm take them all with their bikes.
I'm afraid of going out, man. Honestly, I'd rather.
You're afraid of what?
I don't know. Other people, fuck. I don't know.
You're afraid of
The other day we stepped out because the girls play in the driveway or just next to the house where there's a park. You know, I don't want to go further in.
Yeah, I know what he's afraid of. He's afraid of bats. He lives in a.
No, because the other day we went for a walk and immediately my daughter started running to the park.
Didn't this thing come from a bat?
Here, man. Eh?
Or no?
I heard
Didn't
it was
this
from eating monkeys or something.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bats.
I heard it was a bat. It was
I thought it was a bat. Yeah.
bat. But
Bats is from the movie Contagion, I think.
No. I
Was
think
a bat,
No, I think it was a bat.
no. I think
Okay.
right.
That's why you didn't get my joke.
You're talking about me or George?
No, George. Well, the Panusi didn't get the joke. You
Yeah.
got the
No,
joke.
I did get the joke, but I really thought it was monkeys.
No. But have you seen that
No.
video?
AIDS comes from monkeys, isn't it? No.
Go on, Rodrigo, you go.
Ebola. No, but you've seen that video that was circulating about the Wuhan market there in China where this virus broke out from. Have you seen it?
No.
Disgusting, man. It's like it's this guy walking through the market, and you see.
Yeah, they sell wild animals.
No, but it's disgusting, man.
They eat them.
Cages with dead cats lying, pick a cat, dogs. There's snakes, there's bats, there's rats, there's everything that you can possibly imagine. Blood on the street. Like, no wonder, man. No wonder we're in this situation. Like, I'm just wondering, where the hell, man, is the health inspection here?
So according to you, it came from the blood.
No, what I'm saying, no, because we know that it came from I'm
just bothering you. I'm just bothering you.
No, but when you see what's going on, like that,
the more we interact with the wild, the more you're gonna have these kind of.
No, but bro, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like here, an inspector walks in, sees a little cockroach running around, and he closes down your shop. Over there, man, it's like dead animals everywhere with the blood on the street. People walking by, testing things. Okay, buying. Disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's how you feed 2 billion people.
Look, I'm not judging people's eating habits.
I'm not judging them either. I'm just saying that when there's 2 billion people
you
to
gotta
feed,
overlook.
But can you do it in a healthy manner, man? Like just in the
There's
middle
no
of
space.
Jesus Christ.
Look, when your infrastructure is from a time when you weren't that many people, but you're not gonna tear up the whole city to start over.
Man, I don't know. You know,
guys, China's gonna have a big problem. China is an economy that relies on exports.
Yeah.
That means if every country decides today or tomorrow, I'm never buying from China again, they're mercantilists. China is gone off the planet. And the problem is not that. The problem is that they've implemented a rule for the past 10, 15 years, I don't know how many years, where they only have one kid. That means in 10, 20 years, you're going to have one kid trying to take care of 2 people, his parents. And they're going to have a big issue. China is anyways, definitely not the next power. And they're going to have, after this, they're going to have a problem.
But at the same time, Chris, it's very difficult to imagine countries stopping to buy from China because that's going to affect their local economies as well. Can you imagine?
No, not after a recession. After recession, you're rebuilding.
Can you imagine countries like the U.S. having to completely ex China and have everything done at home?
Absolutely.
Like 3 times the cost?
Not 3 times the cost. Not after a recession.
People work for nothing after recessions.
After recession, what's after recession?
Yeah,
expansion.
Yeah, but how long can you sustain that?
Until the next recession.
Yeah.
Guys, recessions are part of the deal. It's like people have to understand that. It's cyclical. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Every dollar you get paid, somebody pulled it out on credit somewhere. It all begins with drawing money from a credit card.
That's right. That basic economy. It's what it is.
And so as it grows. The recession is inevitable, and that's how it zeroes out, starts over again.
And don't be surprised if in the future the recessions are not like every 100 years apart or 70 years apart. They might be 2 months apart.
Yeah.
You know, a year apart, 2 months apart, 3 months apart, and then that recession will bring expansion, and expansion will bring recession, and it's going to keep going. It's cyclical. It's weird how people still don't understand that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to prepare for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Now, I hope people understand that. Now you got to prepare for the next one.
That's what they were saying after 2008 in the States, and then 2010 again, and they still haven't learned.
But that's what always happens, right? It takes like this catastrophe to put things like. Do you remember the ice storm here in '98?
Yeah.
Ice storm in '98 implemented like this protocol that for any upcoming eventual natural disaster, you have your bases covered, right? This is one of these situations where next time around something like this happens, you're much more prepared, right? You know
Yeah.
exactly how to confront it. You know exactly how to go about it.
Well, like South Korea, right? Was it South Korea? They were the most prepared because
Yeah,
they lived through it with SARS, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
they were very experienced. They knew exactly what to do, and you know what? That's how you learn. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, you can't pretend you learn until you've learned.
Yeah, you got to go through it. You
Yeah,
got to go through it.
experience.
I just another thing that's scary to me, if you like to go on the political side a little bit, is that I just hope that people understand that this is a catastrophe, whatever it is, a pandemic, but it's not a failure of capitalism, because you have a lot of people that are going to want to say this is the weakness of capitalism, and I'm just finding people want to bring in a lot of these socialist ideas, and that could be another.
Yeah, but you're gonna expect that, Chris. You're gonna see all the environmentalists now. They're gonna come up. How did this, how did this virus even get created? It's because we're not taking care of the environment, and it gives birth to, like, there's all these things that are gonna happen.
Yeah. I just hope people understand the perspective of things,
I don't think they will.
and the reality of things, how things happen.
Is
If you look at
Purell publicly traded?
yeah, I think it's a Procter and Gamble. I'm not that.
That's the one to invest in here, moving forward.
Well, now you've lost the opportunity because it's the curve happened.
Oh, it's skyrocketed.
You got to think of everything that went really, really down, and what are people going to need in the next 5 months?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But so look, a lot of things to talk about, man. A lot of things to talk about.
You know, the problem is I don't know how long we've been recording. But anyway.
Doesn't say.
By the way, just for the record, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just open to ideas. And there's a lot of things going on, and what really sickens my stomach is the people
opportunities. The opportunities and the dirtiness is there.
Yeah,
it doesn't stem from there. It just
what bothers me is the people that speak in absolute truths. In an age of uncertainty, when you don't know anything, everything is kind of subjective. The truth does exist. The truth is objective, and it's somewhere. It just people don't know it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're listening to when you have experts that disagree, right, with all these layers of information and data, like what we're having here is trivial. What we're having here is just opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's
it goes back to what you were saying earlier too.
What?
How they try to draw that emotion, that fear. We're dramatic. We like the romantic.
We like that, of course.
We like the romance. We like the
everybody
it all came together.
Everybody drives and looks at the ambulance.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
There's a fire, you stop, you look. That's just nature. And think about it. How many? Well, now it's kind of changing with the fake news and all that stigma. But how many news broadcasts you think would have still be in business if everything they gave out was positive news? People would be turned off. It's like, oh my God, can you just stop with this positive shit? I don't like it. Yeah. People are turned off by positive stuff, and they get excited by very negative stuff. And this is the frenzy here.
I think we like to think that we're prepared for the worst. We like to imagine we're following the right stream of information.
Yeah. It's like what you said. George said it. It's like better safe than sorry. Everyone thinks like that. Better safe than sorry. Let me be on the safe side.
Let me buy 40 cases of toilet paper.
That's just ridiculous. Yeah. Have you guys been to Costco at all? I tried to go last week.
Yeah, I went.
My wife went.
You went? You got in?
2 days ago, yeah.
No, thank you.
Very, you know what? Congrats to these people. Like, they know how to manage situations.
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's just me. It's my patience, man, that was put to the test, man.
No, you know what? There's a
you're going to the one in Broussard. Go to mine.
Which one? You go to the one?
Candiac. Yeah.
No, I went to one Broussard. There was a lineup, man. People were
that one is like that when there's no crisis.
No. Never. I've never seen that, man. People were waiting outside with a little buggy.
No, but that's on purpose. Guys, inside there's nothing happening.
Yeah, they're limited to the number of people.
That's right. Inside is all airy. You have your space. You have the right distances.
Space.
Yeah, but it's guaranteed space.
But do you think I'm gonna wait outside half an hour, 40 minutes next to people I don't even know?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You sound like a victim.
No, man. It's back to that safe and sorry thing. I'm not gonna go wait in line. I
No,
went.
but what are you gonna do
You
when
know
you
what?
run out of food?
Costco should change the whole.
No, I go to Metro.
Costco should drop the whole protocol. They should drop it all because
No,
George doesn't want to wait
no.
outside.
No, wait, George. What do you do when you run out of food?
I go in the buy. Well, last week I went to Metro. Like nothing was happening.
Metro's the same thing. Your Metro is somebody else's Costco.
No, I understand. My point here is not where I'm shopping. The point is
Yeah.
that there was a lineup, and I didn't want to wait in the lineup.
Well, wait next week. Wait till next week when
Stop.
people run
No.
out.
We stopped.
Because
We're ordering everything online now, and and you got to do it quick now because there's like a week.
but why are you ordering online?
Because you don't go in the store. The guy brings it to your house. You disinfect.
So,
it, put it in.
so you don't trust yourself, but you trust the guy putting things for you.
Yeah, that's the other thing, But whatever.
Dude, no, man.
Delusion.
No, man. Dude, no. At least when you're there, you could trust whatever online. Somebody bringing it to your door.
Yeah, because look, you're gonna grab the stuff. It's gonna go straight into the sink. Whatever is fruit, vegetable, you're washing it. Whatever has plastic containers, garbage. You know what I mean?
The exterior of that container of the bag was held by someone's hand. It was handled.
I do the same thing when I bring my groceries too. Like we wash everything, we disinfect everything. I'm just saying that you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah. Look, I guess whatever you do, you're always gonna find that negative.
Man, I just started coughing.
Oh no.
This is what you should do.
I don't like it.
Yeah, and then your kid comes to lie on you and lies right on your shirt.
Okay, this is better.
I don't buy this either. This means nothing, guys. Even the people with the masks. People with the masks protect other people. They don't protect themselves.
No, exactly.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what a virus is? It's like take a meter, divide it by 1,000, take that millimeter, divide that by 1,000, and then take that and divide that by 1,000. That's the size of it. You think it's not gonna go through the pores of this shirt? No, guys, think about it.
Probably less, but I mean, it's trapped in your saliva and your mucus. Right?
Exactly. The mask stops like the saliva, but the virus is very, very small.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but it's better than being airborne. The best thing to do is to do it into a tissue and throwing it up, and then you wash your hands.
A tissue, you said, or a T-shirt?
Yeah,
tissue.
Tissue.
Or toilet paper.
Yeah. It's tissue. Tissue is bathroom tissue.
If you have any lying around.
Did you spoil yourself? Did you buy the 3-ply or?
Me?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you guys. Did you buy 3-ply?
Look, we have suppliers for toilet paper. So trust me, if there's one thing, man, that we're never gonna miss is toilet paper.
So you're the culprit, huh?
It's not that soft little whatever Charmin 3-layer, whatever you call it,
Have you guys seen the guy with the toilet paper in the little hole?
Yeah, it was George's. George sent it to us.
So funny.
No, but that was the Cypriot guy. There's an American guy doing it too.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Actually, I think he's British. He's not American. He's British.
He's doing it in English.
He's doing it in English. Yeah.
This is one thing that amuses me now because all these memes that are coming on and all these things that we're putting on the internet, they have so much time to kill. There's a lot of funny stuff out there, man.
There's gonna be great ones that are gonna last forever.
I know it's sad because we're taking advantage of the situation where people are actually dying, but there's some really funny
guys.
shit
You know
out there,
one of the best ones. I haven't heard. No, the goats I've seen, but one of the best ones. This is a parody, a remake of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Have you heard it? Have you heard that one?
No.
You guys got to hear that one. The best.
If you have it, send it to me.
I'll send you guys. My wife showed it to me. Really good.
No, it's
really good.
Hold on, I'm gonna try and find one because it's in my stories. I'm gonna read it to you guys. It was fucking funny. Hold on. Where is it?
A lot of weird people emailing me.
All my providers. All my providers to tell me that they're there for me. they're gonna come bring something to my house.
Everyone's there for everyone.
Everybody's there for me. Somebody I gave my email address to 40 years ago,
Everybody wants to feel good pretending they're concerned.
Yeah, everyone wants to pretend they're concerned.
Yeah, everybody wants to feel good. Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
PR value.
I'm sure you probably saw this. It's circulated everywhere. It says it was a post. Thoughts and prayers going out to all the married men who've spent months telling their wives, "I'll do that when I have time."
That's pretty good.
No, you got. Did I send you the one? Was it me that sent it to you guys, or the one with the option A B? I'll take B.
Oh yeah.
I heard that one. Option A is be quarantined with your wife and kid, or B.
B.
B. I'll take B.
B. He didn't even hear who he was talking.
He doesn't care. Doesn't care.
B. Yeah. A murderer, a weird rapist
Doesn't matter.
guy.
He'll deal with that. B. It was just B.
So much good things, man. Like so many good things. It's so funny every single day, man. Honestly, like I think I've gotten addicted, man, to like social media. I think I was addicted before this, to be honest with you guys. But
I
now,
still have none.
I don't understand you guys, man. You're missing out on so much.
I get it filtered. I only get the good stuff through you guys. You tell me, I'm sending you a good one. I only get the good one.
So funny.
Customize my feed.
Yeah, it's true. He has filters on, man.
Yeah, you guys are my filters.
You're putting the filters on the phone. He's putting the filters on the people.
Yeah.
Extra level. I think we're gonna end it here. I have no idea how long we've recorded because I have nothing to track it, but I'm assuming it's probably close to 2 hours or something.
It was good. It was good today.
Are you announcing the end, or this is the end? It's done.
Is there anything you can say before we end?
Me?
No. I want to know that it's the end.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have to take a fucking dump, bro.
I'm not editing this part. You know that, eh?
I'm taking you to the toilet, bro.
No, man, don't do that.
No, you're gonna see old school.
I'm logging off. Boys.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Ciao, boys.
Ciao, boys.
I missed you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Later, guys.